Hey guys, Lucas Garvey here. Today, I'm talking about one of the oldest literary techniques known to man, that being rhyming. Entire art forms have been predicated on this technique, such as the poetry of old or even the rap of new. Even other art forms have their own, albeit less direct, version of rhyming, such as visual rhyming or the rhythmic structure within a story. It's a rather simple and straightforward technique for being the oldest and possibly the most prolific technique in all of literature. So today, I want to discuss why rhyming is so powerful. To begin with, it's important to define rhythm. The most straightforward definition we could devise is you repeat a word, but you change one of the letters to make it sound barely different. Changing a single letter can drastically change the power of a line. I know this is a rather simplistic approach. There's obviously more complex forms of rhyming, but I think it's better to start somewhere simple and go from there. Why does a single letter change add so much to the enjoyment and profundity of a work? Well, it's actually deeply connected to the inner workings of the human brain. Because you don't see it with your eyes or hear with your ears, it all happens in the brain. Your brain is constantly constructing an image for you that is as streamlined as possible. It's trying to give you the important details and leave out the rest. Because of this, elements in your vision that recur often are quickly blurred out or replaced with simplistic versions. For example, people hardly actually see trees the way they are because people can walk by dozens, if not hundreds of trees a day. And since no new information is gathered from viewing these trees, your brain will compress the image and replace it with the idea of a tree. So for most people, all trees look exactly the same. Not because all trees are identical, but because they're similar enough that your brain makes them look the same. So unless the tree is extremely different from the rest, almost deformed looking, or unless you're very educated on tree aesthetics, you would never notice the small differences. Also, just the fact that we have a nose in our vision our entire life, but yet it seems like it's not there at all. It's very similar to how some people will say an entire genre of music sounds exactly the same, whether it's rock, rap, or classical. It's not because all the music does sound the same, it's because that person isn't as knowledgeable in that genre, and more importantly, probably doesn't care about that genre to begin with. So the brain all blurs it together. So what does this all have to do with rhyming? Well, just think, what is the purpose of rhyming? It's to make a work memorable. Because if the same event keeps happening in a story, or the same words keep repeating in a song, it becomes all blurred together. But if you change it just enough, it'll pierce through the brain's blur function and get recognized as a new element. That's all well and good, but why make it just different enough? Why not make every word sound completely different from the one before it? Or why not make every event in a story completely different from the one before it? Well, it's actually kind of funny. Whether there's too much detail or not enough detail doesn't matter. It'll affect your brain the same way. It'll blur it out. If there's too much detail, your brain won't even try storing it in your memory. It's a losing battle. So if an image is overly complicated, or if a story or a sonnet is too complicated and different from itself, it becomes so impossible to remember it fully. And memorability was so important during the early uses of rhyming because there was no written language or way to store information outside of our brains. So if something was forgotten, it was lost forever. And that is why rhyming is so powerful. Because each subsequent word or note or scene is different enough from the one before it to bypass the brain's blur function. But also, it's similar enough that each word or note or scene in the chain reminds us of the next word or note or scene. As long as we can remember Humpty, we'll certainly remember Dumpty. As long as we can remember to be, we'll certainly remember not to be. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. Also, leave a comment about what you think makes rhyming such a popular technique. Don't forget to click subscribe to watch more videos like this every Monday. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.